Hey everyone, Mr. DVB here. So today I'm going to bring you guys a very brief video in which I'll be announcing my next 3 film projects. So this video is going to be focusing purely on, 30 minutes or longer films that I'll be working on with my friends. These are not going to be like, little 5-minute short action films like I used to upload because those films aren't planned. Those don't have scripts. Those usually are just released because my friends will be hanging out and all of a sudden the idea just pops in our head. So this video is going to be focusing purely on, scripted films that are longer than like 20 minutes or a half an hour that will be coming out throughout the rest of 2019. So without further ado, let's jump into the first film.
If you kill me, all of my men will be after you. You're a dead man.
Bring it on.
So as you can see, that was the teaser for Retaliation 2, The Hunt, which is a direct sequel to the first Retaliation that I released last summer. This film picks up pretty much immediately after the events of the first one. Aiden's character, who is an unnamed protagonist in the first film, was a hitman who ended up finding out that he was being hunted down by Hitman himself. So basically he rebelled against this whole criminal empire, took down the main baddie, who was played by my brother. That character named Walker basically said Aiden that, if I am killed, all my men, everybody that, is in this business will be going after you. And that is the plot of the second film. Aiden is now like this main target for everyone to go after, hence the title, The Hunt. So this is basically like John Wick Chapter 3, I guess you could say. Which, whatever. I mean, there's going to be similarities between this and movies for sure. But yeah, my goal with this film was to just basically improve on every aspect of the first one, which I think it really always should be when it comes to sequels. It's going to be longer, it's going to have hopefully better acting. I'm not in it, I'm just directing this one, so yeah. Better action, that's something that I really want to work on. I think the action sequences, especially for like, the time that I was making that film, turned out pretty well. But I've gained a little bit more experience over time. I have my new camera now. I'm able to kind of work with way more techniques. So I'm looking forward to making even bigger and better action sequences. And yeah, I really look forward for this film coming out. Like I said, it'll be released later this month, probably near the very end of the month, honestly. And I look forward to seeing your guys' thoughts on that film. Alright, so Defaced is coming out sometime this summer. My original plan was to have it out around in June, but I just don't think that's going to happen, especially with Retaliation 2, and the fact that this film is going to have a really big length. This is the first time I've actually made like a full-length film, so I've been working on this since February, actually. I've been writing the script by myself, coming up with all these ideas. I have like the whole plot laid out, and right now I'm just making sure all that is transferred to the paper perfectly. My focus on this is really to create memorable characters and great dialogue. That is my focus with this film. It's not necessarily an action-heavy film. The premise I'm going to be keeping very under wraps. It's not something I'm going to like dive into and just give you guys every single detail about this, because I do want this one to be a little bit different. I want this to be more of a surprise, so that is what I'm going for with Defaced. All I'll tell you right now, though, is that it is a cop film where they basically are taking down like this organization. That's really all I will say about it. I'm looking forward to releasing this. What I always find is that like a page of script is usually equal to about a minute of screen time, and I'm on scene 5 of like 22, and this is already a 28-page script. So once the time this is done, this could be close to 2 hours, which if that happens, that's crazy, because that's like unlike everything I've ever done before. So really look forward to releasing this one for you guys sometimes this summer, and yeah. Alright, the third and final film is obviously Halloween Returns. Some of you guys might have already known about this, if you're like some of my friends from online or anything like that. This is something I've been wanting to make for a while now. I've always loved the Halloween franchise. I think it's like the best horror series out there in my opinion. I love Michael Myers. He's like my favorite, serial killer in film, and I've always wanted to just make my own Halloween film. Hence, I have the poster back there and everything. And yeah, this is something I've been working on for a while. Like I said, I've basically just been trying to come up with different ideas for how I could handle this film, and I think I finally have one that I really, really like and that I'm going to be going with. My goal with this film is to basically, obviously, make it creepy. Like, that's a big thing. Have some good kills. But on top of that, I think my biggest goal is to kind of make this feel different from the movies. To kind of separate it, not just from the films, but from, like, every short film out there. Because there's so many Halloween short films every single year that are released around Halloween time. So many of them are just, like, 5-minute films where it's just Michael walking around and killing, like, 2 people, and then it ends, and it's just kind of like, okay, that was disappointing. That's not my goal. My goal here is to actually give you guys, like, a pretty good length, like, 40-minute or so long Halloween film that has a story to it, that has characters, that's just different from the films, and not just this like, teenagers partying and getting killed kind of thing. I want to give you guys something different. I'm not going to say what it is per se, but that is what my goal is with this film. I think you guys will pretty much notice that as soon as you watch it in October, so I look forward to seeing your guys' thoughts on that film. I just look forward to seeing your guys' thoughts on all these films, because film is obviously what I enjoy doing the most. It's what I want to do when I'm older. And yeah, I mean, the more experience I get, just the better these films will turn out in the end. So I look forward to you guys seeing all these, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Oh, by the way, I will be having a Q&A live stream on Friday. It'll be at 7 p.m. Central, so if you guys want to join in on that live stream, ask me questions about these films, please, nothing else. I don't want to have questions about random things, so purely focused on these 3 short films, or not really short films, but yeah, and just ask me questions about them, and yeah, I'll be happy to answer some of them, so yeah.